Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, Saheem the Dream, back again with another video. And in this video, I'm going to be talking about 5 reasons why I believe that Triple H's booking is better than Vince McMahon. This is a part two to the video I already did, which was based on does WWE have a booking problem, right? This is a part two. This is a sequel, and I narrowed it down to 5 things. That's right, baby. 5 things, 5 things, 5 times, like the 5-time champion Booker T. 5 things, baby. 5 things that makes or 5 reasons why Triple H's booking is better than Vince McMahon. As you guys all know, Vince McMahon was pushed out of his own company because Vince McMahon is a freak. He's a big time freak. He's a naughty boy. He's a naughty boy. And that's why he was pushed out because Vince McMahon could not stop doing the things he was doing. You guys all know about the salacious scandal behind Vince McMahon and why he was pushed out and why WWE was purchased by TKO. But that is the reason why we have Triple H as the top booker, because we know the guy who was in charge of the booking and it gave the ultimate say was Vince McMahon. But now we have the gracious Triple H, the game, and we know the game loves to play. So without further ado, let's talk about the 5 reasons why I believe that Triple H's booking is better than Vince McMahon. Let's talk about it.
Yeah. Wrestling in the ring, thoughts that always bring. Talking all about the moves in our grooves. Wrestling talks and thoughts we never forgot. Slamming down the truth in our booth. Conversations in the air with flair and care. Legends of the past, memories that last. Wrestling talks and thoughts, connecting the dots. From high flyer to submissions, we make our missions. From Raw to SmackDown, we wear the crown. NXT to AEW, we bring the view. Wrestling talks and thoughts in our slots. Fans united, always excited. Wrestling talks and thoughts in our spots.
All right, guys, so let's talk about it. So the first reason why I believe that Triple H's booking is better than Vince McMahon is because of collaborating with other promotions. That's right, collaborating with other promotions. As you guys have seen, TKO is open to collaborate with other promotions like the likes of TNA, and they have recently just purchased AAA. But AAA was a purchase, it's not a collaboration, but the collaboration they have is with TNA, and they have a partnership, a working partnership, which means that WWE will get first dibs to purchase TNA if they ever go up for sale, and they can purchase or decline. But they will be the first people to get that call to say, hey, we don't have any more money. Can you please buy us out? And with this collaboration, this gives us something new to feast our eyes on, right? We get other wrestlers from other promotions coming on to work with WWE's talent. Now, we do see that TNA is working with NXT, which is WWE's developmental brand. Some of you may not think it's a developmental brand. We all know it is a developmental brand because when you leave NXT and you go up to SmackDown and Raw, it is considered the main roster, right? The main, which means primary, right? So with this collaboration, we have had great matches like Obafemi versus Moose. Moose being the X Division champion, Obafemi being the NXT World Champion, and we've seen these type of collaborations, which gives us something different and fresh and mixes things up, right? A little bit more excitement instead of seeing the same old performers we are seeing day in and day out put on the same feuds and matches. We see something a little bit more out the box, right? And I believe that this is what makes it a lot better. Now, some of you guys know about in 1997 that Vince McMahon had a working partnership with ECW, but it was short-lived. It was only for a year and it lasted that long. And pretty much the fullness of their partnership was ECW would send some of their talent to WWE and WWE would send some of their talent to ECW, all for developmental purposes so that they can kind of beef up their roster or trade talent that they see fit for that particular promotion. So that's what they were doing, sort of like a trade-off. And we did see like little glimmers of this back in '99, where Triple H was the world heavyweight champion. Taz was signed on to the WWE main roster. He was given the privilege to go back to ECW, fight Mike Awesome for the the ECW World Heavyweight Championship. He would beat Mike Awesome, show up on an episode of Monday Night Raw with the ECW Championship, and challenge or fight Triple H for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. And Triple H would ultimately beat him. But this will be pretty much a glimmer of what we would now see in regards to TNA's talent collaborating with NXT. Now, the reason why I say that Triple H's booking is better is because if Vince McMahon was in charge, he would not have allowed that to happen, especially looking at other brands or indie brands as being rivals. Now, you guys know, as I mentioned, that ECW partnership with WWE was short-lived. It was only for a year. But right now, TNA's partnership with WWE's NXT is now going on to a full year, and it doesn't seem to be slowing down. As you guys have seen in John Cena's The Last Time Is Now tournament, we had a special guest appearance by Matt Cardona. And of course, one of my favorite in-ring performers, Dolph Ziggler, would show up. We've had Jordan Gray show up in a Royal Rumble. Now she signed over to NXT. We've had Joe Hendry show up at WrestleMania, and also Joe Hendry show up in other ways in regards to matches in NXT. And this is something that we would not have seen if Vince McMahon was in charge. So the fact that we have this difference is something that makes this particular time and booking special. Now, going on to number 2, consistent storylines. Oh my God, consistent storylines. The fact that we have a consistency in storylines and we're seeing stories fully fleshed out to its complete end is what makes this era of booking a whole lot better, right? When Vince McMahon would be in the seat of booking, we would have stories that would just completely end and not have a reason as to why the story was ending. Like there would be a feud going on between the likes of Finn Balor and Roman Reigns. And once the match was done, all of a sudden Finn Balor would show up on Raw or show up on SmackDown to fight somebody else, and there'll be no mentions or little to no mentions as to why they are not feuding anymore. Like we would not see exactly the feud really be dissolved in front of us. But with Triple H's booking, we're actually seeing the end of storylines, or the storylines kind of build out and branch out to other avenues. Okay, so for example, we have Lyra Valkyria, who had a feud with Becky Lynch, right? So Lyra Valkyria, she was an Intercontinental Champion, and her and Becky Lynch teamed up. They became tag team champs. They were tag team champs for about a week. They wound up losing the titles. Becky Lynch turns on Lyra Valkyria, and then that transitioned into a feud where they had 3 matches. In the second match they had against each other, Becky Lynch would get the better of Lyra, becoming an Intercontinental Champion. Then Lyra would challenge Becky Lynch in a series of matches, ultimately leading up to a last match where Lyra Valkyria, if she lost the match, she could not challenge Becky Lynch again to an Intercontinental title match. And what happened? Becky Lynch winds up winning, and then that feud pretty much just fizzled down. Now, they still had beef with each other. They were still kind of rivaling back and forth a little bit, but you can see that the beef had to sizzle down because there was nothing that Lyra Valkyria can really do to put herself back in the Intercontinental Championship picture, because there was no tournaments or there was no number 1 contender spots that were available in order for her to reignite her feud. So Lyra Valkyria actually wound up going into a partnership with Bayley, and then her partnership with Bayley will put them on a journey of trying to capture the tag team titles or just being a tag team. All right. But that's the reason why I say that Triple H's booking is better, is because we're seeing definitive ends. We know the conclusion to Lyra Valkyria's and Becky's first feud, or their feud at this point, is the fact that Lyra Valkyria lost a series of matches and can no longer challenge Becky for the Intercontinental title. Now, however, somehow, someway in the future, that may put her back on the road to beef or feud with Becky Lynch, but that remains to be seen. But more than likely, they will try to find something interesting in order to reignite the feud. But that's the reason why I'm saying that we have more definitive and conclusive storylines. All right. On to number three. Number three. Angles and storylines you do not see coming. I mean, angles inside of these storylines and these feuds that we cannot predict. And that's what I like. What I hated about Vince McMahon's booking, it started to become slow and sloppy, and we were able to tell exactly what was going to happen, when it was going to happen. When someone was placed in a match, we knew exactly how the match would end. Like, take Survivor Series, right? Sunday. Most of you guys thought that Brock Lesnar would be the guy who's going to beat everybody up in a match and get the victory and secure the victory. However, what you didn't see was the mystery man coming to help out Team Vision, and that mystery man actually securing the win. It wasn't Brock Lesnar who actually beat everybody in the ring, even though he was tossing everybody around like a frisbee. But nonetheless, he was neutralized, and it wasn't Brock Lesnar who actually picked up the victory. It was Braun Breaker. Angles you do not see coming, right? So let me give a better example. So angles you do not see coming, right? We did not see Seth Rollins being speared. That was something we did not expect to happen. We thought that the storyline with the Division would carry on, or if in most cases when a wrestler gets injured, that they just drop the title, they disappear, go on their sabbatical, heal up, and they come back, right? But that's not what happened. They decided to use Seth Rollins' injury for a great storyline push, which was have Braun Breaker early in the storyline of the Vision turn on Seth Rollins quick, so that way WWE can produce some great shock value and you not see it coming. John Cena's heel turn. A lot of us did not see that coming. Most of us thought that when Cody Rhodes was being propositioned by The Rock, that it would be pretty much a fight that would be against The Rock and Cody Rhodes, but that's not what happened. You seen John Cena turn heel. A lot of you guys did not see that coming. I didn't see it coming. The only time I seen it coming was when John Cena gave that villainous grimace when he was hugging Cody Rhodes, and you seen The Rock give the little signal, and that was it. And that's when I knew the heel turn was happening, right? So angles like that, which leads me to number 4, new talent getting the push, rotating talent, and utilizing underutilized talent. That's right, underutilized talent. We are seeing a lot of talent that we don't normally see on the main roster be utilized, and some main talent that we always see sometimes take a back seat. So a lot of you guys get frustrated and get mad because you see guys like LA Knight not getting the push, or at one point it was Jey Uso not getting the push. But now that you guys are seeing these guys really get utilized the way that you want them, see them every week, or whether it's SmackDown or it's Raw, is the fact that we're seeing guys that we want to see on camera, on screen. Some guys, we don't normally see, we are seeing on screen sometimes, but for the most part, we do see underutilized talent getting utilized, right? When it came to Vince McMahon and it came to underutilized talent, they were pretty much just being used for like house shows, live events, and then we won't really see them on TV. But when it comes to Triple H's booking, we do see people who don't normally get screen time get some more screen time, right? And if they're not working out with the fans, then they get pushed to the back and have to work their way back to the front, because everybody can't wrestle in front of the camera. So I know some of you guys say, oh, well, I haven't seen R-Truth in a while ever since he came back. Yep, we still see R-Truth. We don't see him in the ring, but we do see him backstage cutting promos. He cut a promo during the John Cena's Last Time Is Now match choice with Nick Aldis and The Miz, and they did a short backstage vignette. Now we do see how some talent who we have not seen in a while are still utilized, right? So The Miz, who has been on TV off and on, he's not on TV all the time, but we do see him every now and then during the month. There's a lot of superstars that I realize like, hey, I haven't seen this person in a while, but then I'll see them, if not one week, I'll see them the week after. So there is talent that at times I don't see sometimes, but then maybe a week later or 2 weeks later, I may see. Like right now, we don't see the Street Profits on TV. We haven't seen them in a while, but guarantee, give it like maybe a few weeks from now, you're going to see the Street Profits back on TV unless they've been released, which I doubt they have been. At one point, we didn't see DIY on TV for a little bit, but now they're back on TV. But the reason why we're not seeing all our favorite superstars as often as possible is because WWE is rotating talent. They're allowing other talent to get screen time. Of course, we need to see the mains or the majors like the champions or the heavyweight champion like Cody Rhodes or CM Punk or whoever are the mains. But there are other talent that do deserve that same opportunity. And that's what WWE, or I should say Triple H's booking, is affording is new talent to get seen. Which leads me to number 5. That's right, baby. Number 5, number 5, number 5, number 5. It leads me to number 5. Number 5. Fans are being heard. Now, some of you guys may agree that you are being heard or fans are being heard, and some of you guys may pretty much disagree. But I honestly think that fans are being heard. We wanted to see Cody Rhodes complete his story, and he got to complete his story because the fans went absolutely nuts on Twitter, and we were not having it. You have us cheer for Cody Rhodes, win the Royal Rumble. He makes it all the way to Mania just to lose, just to come back and win the Royal Rumble the following year, and then be completely pushed to the side. So, The Rock being one of the major heads of the boards at TKO wanted to insert himself in the match because, not because he was being greedy, but because a lot of fans wanted to have a Rock versus Roman Reigns match, which would determine the true head of the table. And that got overtaken by the fans saying, we don't want to see you no more, Rock. We don't care about your presence. We want Cody, and we want to see him in his story because we invested so much time watching him week in and week out, and you are a part-time superstar showing up to have a match with Roman Reigns where the fire for that match had completely been dissolved because we're in the middle of watching Cody climb the top of the mountain and grab glory. All right. And that's what we wanted to see. So I believe that fans are being heard. A lot of fans are now wanting to see LA Knight get that push. I'm telling you guys, if you guys just be patient, I guarantee it, you guys will not see it coming when LA Knight wins the world championship. It will be a surprise, a surprise, a surprise, a surprise, but you guys have to be patient. He may win the Royal Rumble. He may win Money in the Bank, but I guarantee you, if a star is over, WWE is going to push them properly, especially with the way booking is done, because they do not want to give you guys bad booking. Some of you guys like the booking now. Some of you guys feel like the booking could be a lot better. Honestly, I think the booking is a lot better compared to what we got because we're seeing, again, as I said in my point number 2, that we are getting a consistency in storylines. We're actually seeing storylines be completely fleshed out to its complete end, and they're getting it in. Sometimes unpredictability is what's needed, and sometimes predictability is what's needed. But overall, I think Triple H's booking is really good. What do you guys think? Drop a comment in the comment section below. How do you guys like the booking right now in WWE? Do you think the booking could be better? Do you want Vince McMahon's booking to come back? Do you like how Vince McMahon used to book matches? If you do, then you might be crazy. I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.